What's going on, YouTube? Rukari here, and it has been a minute since I last dipped back into Steins Gate, but we're just gonna plow on ahead. I have no idea where we were. I think we were researching a computer, and we're just gonna see where this takes us. According to Daru's research, the IBN 5100 weighs 25 kilos. For now, we'll leave it on the shelf in the development room. We carry the cardboard box to the room, half dragging it. Kurisu follows. Can you show me the phone wave? Indeed, I can. Want to experiment? You haven't been able to send another email to the past yet, right? Do you know why? I can only shake my head. Let's run some tests. Kurisu looks around the development room. Man, you have a ton of junk. It's not junk. It's a collection. Since you're new to the Future Gadget Laboratory, I'll explain. These are the glorious fruits of our science, the Future Gadgets. Future Gadgets 1 through 7 are stored here. The phone wave, with which you are already familiar, is gadget number 8. Future Gadgets, huh? Kurisu casually picks Future Gadget 4, Mode Snake, up from the shelf and stares at it. Hey, isn't this a weapon? Future Gadget number 4, Mode Snake, designed after a Claymore landmine, is an instant humidifier. How confusing. Insert water and turn the power on, and in mere seconds it generates a thick cloud of steam. So it's junk. I thought so. Kurisu sighs and returns Mode Snake to the shelf. I'm borrowing this. Without waiting for a reply, she grabs Daru's never-worn lab coat from the shelf and puts it on gallantly. Whoa. Oh god, we found his turn on. It's just not right without a lab coat. Overcome with emotion, I seize Kurisu's hand and grasp it firmly. Will you marry me? Hey! Assistant, you get it, don't you? Get what? Let go. If you're gonna do science, you need a lab coat, right? I told Daru over and over, but he wouldn't wear one. But my assistant is different. She put it on before I even said anything. I knew you were meant for this, Christina. You're the best assistant a mad scientist could ask for. I don't know if that's supposed to be a compliment, but it's coming off as an insult. Now let go. She shakes off my hand and turns her back to me. I'm giving you that lab coat to commemorate your joining the lab. Don't worry, it's never been worn. Or maybe this fateful encounter between you and that lab coat was decided by destiny long ago. Daru not wearing it was just another inevitability. This is the choice of Steins. Shut up so we can start the experiment. Oh, poor baby. He's so scared. And aroused. Scaroused. Kurisu thrust both hands into her lab coat's pockets, then bends down to look at the time machine now placed underneath the table. The previous experiment broke the table and even left a hole in the floor. There's a danger that will happen again if we successfully reproduce the discharge phenomenon, so unfortunately we'll have to leave it on the floor for now. So you haven't tampered with the microwave at all? I point to the X86,000. There's code on the screen. It's in terminal mode now. We can change the factory settings like this, make the microwave do things its manufacturer never intended. How was it set when the discharge phenomenon occurred? Nothing out of the ordinary. It was at factory settings. You see, in science, the important thing to do is make sure your experiment is replicable. You replicate the initial settings, the initial environment, and then you see if it happens again. I'll take a banana. The bunch of bananas only has 3 bananas left. Those are Mayuri's. When have you ever cared before? Oh, so I don't need your permission then. I'll go buy new bananas tomorrow. Kurisu takes 1 banana from the bunch, squats down, and places it inside the phone wave, name subject to change. She begins to type on her phone. She pushes send, and the phone wave, named subject to change, begins to turn backwards. After 120 seconds, the chime rings. Nothing happened. The banana's still in the microwave, unjellified. Ow! Kurisu yelps as she tries to take out the banana and quickly draws back her hand. She starts blowing on her fingers. It's hot. Meaning the microwave functioned normally. This proves that the hidden function Mayuri found wasn't a freezing function, but we knew that already. Undaunted, Kurisu throws in a new banana and once again begins reverse rotation for 120 seconds. But the second banana warms up too. We can't reproduce the jellification phenomenon, much less send mail to the past. What does this mean? I guess what happened earlier was an irregularity after all. I don't know if it's an irregularity or not, but we ought to investigate the cause. I agree. We agree for once. It's a miracle. But Kurisu's motives and my motives are probably the exact opposite. My assistant here wants to disprove my theory that the phone wave name subject to change is in fact a time machine. In the previous experiment, after spending 120 seconds in the phone wave name subject to change, the banana teleported back to the punch jellified. We should consider that it returned to its state 120 seconds before. Wrong. If it returned to its state 120 seconds before, it wouldn't be jellified. So she wants to say that because it was jellified, it didn't travel back in time. The chicken returned to its frozen state without jellifying. That logic is dubious. Sure, it ended up frozen, but did you examine the possibility that it might have jellified first? No, I didn't. I think Mayuri ate the refrozen chicken. Salt didn't jellify. Salt is also smaller than the microwaves itself. You mean nothing changed? After the discharge phenomenon occurred last time, we spent all night experimenting with cabbage, radishes, rice, cognac, melon bread, crunchy coon, and cup noodles, and nothing happened. The same thing with liquids. On that day, our success rate took a 180-degree turn. Before the discharge phenomenon, everything succeeded. After the discharge phenomenon, everything failed. Is the microwave storing electricity? You said that jellified objects become fractal structured, right? Salt has a simple structure by nature, so maybe that had an effect, but how could electricity be related? Here, we should think under the assumptions of time travel theory. No, it's not good to start thinking from the conclusion. We've already had several successful experiments, you can't deny that. I'm not especially concerned whether this thing is a time travel machine or not. To begin with, it's physically impossible for this tiny little microwave to produce energy equivalent to the Big Bang. Kurisu frowns deeply. We can't reproduce the discharge phenomenon, nor the fractalization. There should be a reason why. I mean, there's part of me that's wondering if the discharge phenomenon fried something within the microwave that is no longer allowing it to reproduce the temporal effects. The other thing could be that there was a temporal... Like, is a person's presence necessary? Is it because Mayuri... I mean, I think the discharge phenomenon happened because Mayuri reached in and while it was running. Like, that definitely did something. We haven't changed our methods. We haven't changed the settings. We haven't changed the experimental subjects either. There must be some other variable. I mean, the only thing that's moved so far is where the microwave is. Maybe it's the one who observes it. What do you mean by that? Quantum theory. Oh, I said the wrong. What do you mean by that? Quantum theory. The observer is an important element to the experiment. We're just gonna pretend that. There were 4 of us here when the discharge phenomenon occurred last time, but before that, it occurred when Hashida-san was alone. Each time fractalization occurred, there were either 2 or 3 people observing. You and I each saw both phenomena. In other words, the conditions haven't changed. In that case, there must be some other variable. It's on the tip of my tongue. Then I hear a rumbling sound from Kurisu's stomach. Hungry? Shut up! I haven't eaten anything since lunch. Kurisu turns away as she looks at her watch. It's already 8? Just eat a banana, but only one of the 2 we just warmed. They are, after all, the fruit of our experiments. Or you could take something from our stock of cup noodles. Cup noodles, every broke college student's staple food. Don't want any? Well, since you have lived in America for so long, I guess you'd prefer fast food instead. Cup noodles. Huh? I'll have cup noodles. Cup noodles? What flavors? There's soy sauce flavor and chicken flavor. Chicken. She seems in the mood to eat. Also, do you have a fork? And that's where the Americanization steps in. Not sealed with chopsticks. It's past midnight. At 8 o'clock, the 2 of us silently ate cup noodles and warm bananas. Daru said he didn't want any, and ever since then, we've been examining the phone wave name subject to change. I've mainly focused on the terminal mode settings through the X86000. The programs Daru wrote are all wizard class though, so I can't understand most of them. Kurisu's been examining the AC adapter and the lab's electrical switchboard for a while, though we stopped her when she tried to disassemble them. It's early morning, and she still shows no sign of leaving. Where is she staying, anyways? She's been in Japan for 1 or 2 months, and she did say she was going back to America this month. The trains aren't running this late, so I guess she might not be able to leave even if she wants to. But in that case, why didn't she leave before the train stopped? She has ADHD, she hyper-focused. That's my answer. Don't tell me she plans to stay. No girls have ever stayed over at the lab. Mayuri has a curfew, so she always goes back home to Ikebukuro. Daru and I frequently stay here, though. It's not an exaggeration to say we live here half the time. Maybe it's normal for American girls to stay overnight in labs. Yeah, have you seen the working conditions? Christina, is it okay to stay here this late? Perhaps you should contact your family. No need. What? Do your parents let you do whatever you want? Kurisu turns to me and sighs. I haven't seen my father in 7 years. My mother is in America. I'm living in a hotel right now. Understand? What? Living in a hotel? Well, true, renting an apartment for just a month is absurd, but... You damn celebrity! If you're American, then you should at least use a motel instead of a hotel, right? I'm not American, and there aren't any motels in the heart of Tokyo. What sort of hotel? What do you mean? It's a normal hotel in... Okay, let me think for a second. It's a normal hotel in Ochanomizu. Tea water? No, that's Kolcha. Ochanomizu? Then you can walk there from here, can't you? Sure. I see. That's why she's so flexible with her schedule. I think it's tea water. I think she's staying in tea water. I finally understand. So tell me about your father. Way to kill the mood, dude. Way to kill the mood. Sorry? You said you haven't seen him in 7 years? Why do you care about my father? You're the one who mentioned him. Isn't that basically a hidden message saying, please give me some advice about my father, please? You're the one who asked her where her parents were. You're crazy. You are my assistant, and I can't let my assistant have any worries, so tell me everything that's on your mind. Most of it revolves around wanting to murder you at this point, I would be pretty sure. Kurisu pouts and says no more. Instead, she glares at the circuit box on the wall. What's wrong? I have nothing to say to you. Oh, I know! Your father was a hero, but then he fell to evil, and now he wears a black mask and cape and goes, hee-hoo! Right? And in the future, you two are destined to fight. I think I heard Kurisu's teeth grind. You're really mad at me, aren't you? Don't make fun. Kurisu doesn't look me in the eye, but her low voice tells me how mad she is. Of people's family issues like that, you're trampling on my heart. Yeah, you done fucked up. Could her father's situation be a landmine? Maybe I should apologize. Yeah, you should! I try to think of the words, but before I can say anything... Hell yeah! Daru's war cry echoes through the lab. Did you get it? Mission complete! Daru shows his white teeth in a wide grin as he gives a thumbs up. I got the server admin's ID and password. Now we can peep as much as we want. And the IBN 5100 database? That's separate, duh. The server admin's unrelated. I mean, it's a database with normally unreadable code, so there's a limit on who can access it. Doesn't look like even the lab director can access it. There are positions higher than that? And there's something called the CERN Executive Council. So they call it a council, eh? What about it? It's a fitting name for our enemy. Yeah, you're gonna get used to this quick, girlfriend. Kurisu looks at me coldly. Whatever, let's leave the IBN 5100 database for another day. Run a search for data on time travel research. Okie dokie, that Z program we saw last time was suspicious, wasn't it? That and the Jellyman's report. We couldn't get concrete information on either before. Kurisu stares holes into the monitor. Her angry expression has disappeared. Look carefully and burn it into your eyes. The proof of CERN's actions is deceit upon the world. Oh yeah, baby. Found the LHC project supervisor. The supervisor, that's a pretty important post. Right now, we're peeking inside his computer. Z program. Z obviously stands for Zeddy, or Jelly. Jelly starts with J. Jelly. Careless mistake, so uncool. What I meant to say is that there's no way it would have such a simple name. The name's hiding something important. There has to be a double meaning. Daru, who's been searching through the log, suddenly stops. Got it! He displays a graphic on the monitor. It looks like a scan of a very old paper document. The letterhead reads, Z Program, Top Secret. The program began in 1973. When was CERN formed? 1954. I asked Daru, but Kurisu answers instead, her tone flat. I thought that maybe CERN was formed with the Z program in mind, but 54 means my guess was off. When was the IBN 5100 put on the market? 1975. So maybe that's why the IBN 5100 was central to CERN's operations. The years match, after all. No, that's wrong. It can't be something as stupidly simple as that. There has to be a worldwide conspiracy involved. Maybe IBN hid their proprietary programming language in the IBN 5100 for the sole purpose of its use in CERN's Z program. IBN and CERN are co-conspirators, and both of them are being manipulated from the shadows by an even larger organization. Yeah, that's way more interesting. Horses, not zebras. JPEG, come on, I can't copy-paste this. Daru mutters some complaint. You have an English speaker standing next to you! The text isn't in French. What's on screen right now looks like English. I mean, I kind of guessed it was English, but still, there's a reason Kurisu's here. Actually, there's French, Dutch, and German versions too. The content looks the same, though. CERN's purpose heading into the 21st century shall be to establish control over space and time, thereby to enable the destruction of extant history and the creation of an everlasting utopia, ruled by the committee that encompasses the entirety of past and future events. Kurisu suddenly starts speaking at a stilted clip. Alright, Maki says she can do English! She do the English good. Way to go, assistant! Your study abroad in America was all for the sake of today, wasn't it? Of course not. Stop assigning people roles in your fantasy world. Daru relinquishes his chair, allowing Kurisu to sit in front of the computer. In order to maintain this project's secrecy and to allow its name to remain relevant in changing circumstances, we designated the Z program. Z, like the Greek Omega, or the Cyrillic Ya. This is so cool. It is forbidden to assign any meeting to this name or to seek in its significance beyond the project itself. Negative returns are predicted should this edict be violated. The Z program is a top-secret project spanning international borders. Like electromagnetic wave research, it has been approved for top priority funding by the Committee of 300. Henceforth, all other research performed by CERN shall function to keep the Z program's existence secret. I guess Kurisu's reading the preface to a document. It's getting rather dull. I mean, you're not interested in mysterious... Nope, that's the wrong button. You're not interested in mysterious committees and all this crap? Is there anything specific about what exactly the Z program is? Daru types on the keyboard from the side, bringing up another window. Here. This can't be. Kurisu bends forward and stares wide-eyed at the words on the screen. What is it? The purpose of the Z program is to perform time-space displacement experiments by means of high-energy proton-proton collisions. Time-space displacement experiments. In other words... Time travel! I have to struggle to keep from shouting. I quickly run over to the window and close it. It might make it hotter inside, but it would be worse if people outside overheard us. No way. It was true? You're telling me they've been deceiving the world for nearly 40 years? Just as I suspected, a great shadow lurks behind CERN, most likely the organization or one of its puppets. What organization, you Chuunbiyou nutjob? At least try to be serious about some of the time. Don't be ridiculous. My words are always grounded in truth. Anyway, shouldn't it be the committee instead of the organization? That's what it says here. The Committee of 300? I don't think they mean CERN's Executive Council. What are they talking about? This is some Illuminati shit right here. The world is full of lies. It's not as beautiful as you think. Listen, Okarin. I am listening. The Committee of 300 is the dark power that controls every secret society, every government, every multinational corporation. You're making things up again. It's the truth. Google it if you don't believe me. Because no one lies on the internet. Until now, the human race, for all its accomplishments, has never been able to overcome the barrier called time. The technology of time travel, which can break through that barrier, will change the course of human history, literally. As it was when we split the atom, this forbidden fruit has the potential to grant us godlike power. Not a man exists who can resist its temptation. And naturally, all those with power will use any means at their disposal to obtain it. Human mortality is naught but a joke to those who would stand with the gods. Understand, Christina? You fucked it up at the end. That was a really good speech. Wow, that was quite a speech. Since you seem to know so much about it, does that mean you're aiming for godhood too? What Hyoin Kyoma desires is the destruction of all who would call themselves gods, the collapse of their hateful system, and a glorious new age of chaos. I'm not asking Hyoin. I'm asking Okabe. I am Hyoin. In other words, you don't have your own reason. Damn you, assistant. How dare you attack my very identity? Forget about him, Makiseshi. Please keep reading. Daru, what do you mean, forget about me? I'm tired of listening to conspiracy theories. I'm more interested in the Z Project than in your delusions. I told you, they're not delusions, and they're not theories. But Daru does have a point. Our top priority now is to expose the dark side of the international research organization known as CERN. Continue, assistant. At least show respect when you're asking a favor. Though huffing out complaints, Kurisu obediently goes back to translating. Stage 1, construction and implementation of the Large Hadron Collider. Over the past half-century, beginning with the proton synchrotron completed in 1959, particle accelerator technology has reached the point where standardized results may be obtained. Stage 2, implementation and testing of lifter technology. The formation of more than 2 artificial localized singularities, as well as the formation of Kerr black holes, will become possible when this stage is complete. In order to hide the program's true goal, it is necessary to intentionally leak misinformation regarding the formation of black holes. Stage 3, animal experimentation. Stage 4, Kurisu stops talking. She takes a deep breath, then finally mutters angrily, "Human experimentation? For real?" A chill runs up my spine. I admit it, some part of me still saw this as a game. I was elated to discover that an institution as respected as CERN was actually doing time travel research. After all, we ourselves had succeeded, whether by chance or design, in producing our own time travel phenomenon. I thought that maybe we could beat CERN to the first functional time machine design. And wouldn't that be something? But now, just like I said to Kurisu, the world is full of lies. Morals are meaningless. Was it really okay for us to get involved in this? I don't know anymore. But that's a question we'll have to answer in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be safe out there. You never know what shady organization is looming over your shoulders, toying with the fabric of all reality. Goodbye.